been messing around. I've been messing around. I've been messing around.
Welcome back to America Trends. Oh, look at that, the pictures. Everything went so perfectly at the wedding, and you look back and everyone's, no one's had the drinks yet, Maryanne, as we talked about. Everyone, good behavior, good memories. We're here with Maryanne Parker with Manor of Manners. And last segment, we talked about how to be a good guest at a wedding, the right thing to do if you're a bride or groom. And so the big tip, respond to your wedding invitation.
You have to respond. This is our responsibility. As soon as we get the invitation, our responsibility starts there. If you don't attend, just let them know. Mm-hmm. If you do attend, you have to specify that too.
Oh, still send a gift? Is that a good idea, probably?
If you'd like to send a gift, you are more than welcome to send a gift, especially if you really have a certain issue that you cannot attend the wedding. And if the people are really close to your heart, you should probably send a gift. You send a gift even if it is not etiquette or not. You send a gift to the person because you want to acknowledge them.
Do what you feel is the right thing to do.
Exactly.
Gosh, I love talking to you about this stuff because you want to put civility back into our society.
Yes, I really want to.
We all want you to. We want to focus now on travel etiquette. So spring break is coming up. People might be traveling for Easter. And funny, Easter, doesn't it fall on April Fool's Day this year?
Yeah, it does, on the 1st.
Don't lose your etiquette, people. So there's a lot that goes into going on a flight. From the minute you step into that airport and check your bag and go through security, let's talk about travel etiquette.
I love this topic. I travel a lot, and many times I see very dramatic situations. So we don't want to be part of this.
And you know what? There's so many that end up on social media. So if you have bad behavior, you might end up trending on YouTube. You're so right.
Yes, it is could be really detrimental. But first of all, you have to know that you have to be on time. Punctuality is crucial for every single thing you do in life. So you need to be on time because you don't want to be rushing. You don't want to rush people in front of you. When eventually get to this plane of yours, wait patiently for the people in front of you. Let them go. They need to be comfortable. They need to get situated. Of course, you can let them know, take your time, which doesn't mean that they should take forever. Saying to them, take your time doesn't mean forever. So when you take your seat, you always have to remember that if you take in the middle seat, the person in the middle is in the most unfavorable seat.
I hear you.
Very uncomfortable.
It's awful.
It is really not very good to be on the middle seat. So the person in the middle has the right to actually use the
armrest. That's a good point.
This is his right or her right. But you always have to make sure that even if the person doesn't use those armrests, you should ask them, do you mind if I use the armrest? You just want to be polite. So because this belongs to them. It's uncomfortable. Yeah. Also, for example, if you want to sleep on a flight, if it's a long flight and you really don't want to be bothered, always try to book a window seat, because a lot of people, they want to go probably to stretch themselves, just to walk around, and if you're sitting by the alley, it's very uncomfortable. So you always have to make sure that you don't inconvenience everybody there. So when you're sitting on the seat, it doesn't matter which one, and you decide to recline your seat, you always have to make sure that you ask not really a permission, because you're allowed to do so, but just let them know.
Look at that guy.
Yes, that's very uncomfortable for everybody around.
I'll bet you he didn't even ask the guy behind him.
So you always have to make sure that you just let them know you're gonna recline your seat, because some people have their beverages, they have their food. You don't want anybody to be suddenly surprised.
And more and more the inches that we have are getting smaller and smaller. The airlines are sneaking that in so they can sell more. So sometimes you'll be doing something and then all of a sudden you feel almost like you've been in an accident.
It's very uncomfortable. But when you mention about the inches and everything is getting so smaller and smaller, we have to be very mindful about the hygiene as well, or what you eat. If you're eating some smelly food, please don't, because we're literally 6 inches away apart from each other. So
perfume?
Yes, if the perfume is very strong, if you really use some kind of hair products that are very strong as well, might be very inconvenient for the people around you. So you have to be very mindful about everything.
Don't groom and spray your hair and do makeup.
No, you can't do that.
Let's back up a little bit to boarding the plane. This can be a big beef with people. You get on and you're supposed to have one thing overhead and then put the other under your seat.
Yes.
But those people lagging and getting on, sometimes there's no overhead space left. And I heard someone on my last flight yelling, well, it's because people put more than one item in the overhead bin, so now we have to check our luggage.
Well, we have to follow the rules of the company because usually they have one small luggage and a handbag or whatever the case is. You always have to put one under the seat and one above you, but don't try to move everybody else's luggage just because it is not convenient for you and you want to be closer to your luggage. If the luggage is there already, just leave it there, and if you need some help, just need to ask for assistance. But don't really do any modifications just because you think that you're right. So you don't want to inconvenience anybody.
I had someone on my last flight also, when we all stood up to deplane or disembark, however you want to term it, she wanted to get past everyone and walk to the back of the plane and then walk back as we were standing. And I was just looking at her going, we need Maryanne here to help us. Was that probably not the right thing to do?
No, definitely not. I had a situation when a lady in front of me was actually checking her emails. She had her laptop in front of me checking her emails because something was extremely urgent. So
she's very important. People like to let you know they're very important on planes.
They're very important. But if certainly if you really have such a big situation going on, maybe you can take business class or maybe your own jet. So you just have to be very mindful about the people around.
And be nice to the crew.
Very nice. I actually spoke about it recently regarding tipping the flight attendant. We don't tip them.
No.
We do not tip them, but we always can show them appreciation because some of them are extremely accommodating, and they're there to help us. So you always can say something nice to them, thank them, even post something on their social media channel for their airplane.
Leave them a nice review.
Leave a nice review. Just acknowledge them because they're a very important part of your comfortable flight.
Yeah, and if you set it up ahead of time as you walk on and you're very kind, they'll remember you and help you out if you need something.
Yes, their job is very stressful as well. They have to make so many people happy.
Your book is Posh Overnight.
Posh Overnight,
In
yes.
20 seconds, can you tell me why it's very necessary?
Posh Overnight is actually the second part of my business etiquette. Posh Overnight is very essential because when you raise your standard, you need to know how to navigate everything in social situations. So I explain there in only 118 pages how to use how to navigate the table setting, how to visit museums, theater, opera, how to travel.
Maryanne Parker, we're not going to try to navigate without you. We'll get your book Posh Overnight and check out your website. And it is again, manorofmanners.com. Thank you so much for being here on America Trends. We're right back after this. Thank you for being with us, everybody. We'll be right back.
I've been messing around. I've been messing around.